Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And in this video, I'm going to be going over malicious devices. Are they just more than a USB? Interesting enough, I presented at a conference this past week on Thursday. And at the end, even though my section was malicious devices, I brought out more than just a USB and a phone cable, charging cable. So that being said, is it more than just that? Why is it that when people have questions or concerns, or when they bring it up from a cybersecurity standpoint, is it just malicious devices are just singled out to just a USB? And is that true? So please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this video. So, as I was saying, are malicious devices just hindered to a USB / possibly even now a phone cable charger? Before I go into that, the day before the conference, we had a lunch and learn with CrowdStrike. I love CrowdStrike. I love what they do, where they're going, their roadmap. I'm able to say it now because now is the time for Falcon. Actually started today. I got invited last minute on Wednesday after their happy hour, and they took us out to dinner. However, I couldn't go just because I needed a sitter and I didn't have anything planned. It was last minute, ask, which sucked because I did want to go check out Falcon. But that being said, this has nothing to do with the conference that was in place. We've pretty much got a first look at their next gen SIM, and all I could say is that thing is badass. And I mean, there are pros and cons to having everything in one. Pros is like, you don't need any other platform software. The other thing is when there's a change in upper management or the company goes into another direction, things could start to snowball downhill in an effect. And I've been through these situations time and time again, especially in physical security. So that being said, that was part of me going down to Miami last week. So like I said, that was the CrowdStrike Next Gen SIM is amazing. RIP to Splunk, by the way. Had nothing to do with the conference. It's just they were hand in hand. They have their USB device section in the CrowdStrike platform, Falcon. However, it didn't touch on that. It was more so for the Next Gen SIM. I can't wait for that to start playing with that. So back to the video at hand. I presented the malicious devices, right? And everyone just thought rubber ducky. Actually, to be honest, most didn't even think about OMG cable. That being said, yes, that is possibly the most majority or realistic chance of that happening is going to be a USB. And also even a USB device plug-in, male to female. You're plugging in a male to a female connection, or your USB-C phone charger cable on either your phone or your laptop device or tablet. Now, why I brought this up is because when I presented some of these tools, or actually most of them, to our employees for physical security, mind you, I have a physical security background, high in depth in technology, also executive protection, investigations, and managing the GSOC and guard forces. So I'm pretty much well-rounded, and that's been my background for those that know, and I watched some of the videos. So, my point in physical security is doing it as a red team, not just putting spots and dots on a PDF and, oh, that's it. You don't ever have to touch it again as far as your physical security, access control, and CCTV systems. So pretty much I took it to the next level, and a lot of people in physical security do not like that. A lot of them are ex-military, ex-law enforcement, biggest fucking egos in the business. I'm ex-military myself. I don't have that kind of mindset or personality. I was called, for those that watch the show Californication on HBO, I was called the Hank Moody of physical security. This is back in the Bay Area, and also when I was in the military, I had a completely different approach. I didn't care about chain of command. I went straight to the head of wherever I needed to go. I would just call admirals, hey, sir, I need to talk to you in the hangar bay and the Enterprise. Senior chiefs and LTs would be like, what the hell is this dude doing? But I built those relationships to talk to people like that, right? I don't just do it blindly. And that's one thing that I brought from working in the tech industry and going into the military. Mind you, I went to the military late. I went in at 24 years old. So I was already in the tech industry. I knew how to build relationships working with executives. That's pretty much what officers were. So just to give you a rundown on the mindset of physical security, right? So how do these two blend? Meaning, how can you blend both? How can you help the physical security team with malicious devices? Well, I'll put the biggest one that has hit social media, and yeah, it's a great device, and I think it opened up a lot of eyes, but it still didn't get to the potential where it should be, and people just mind blow it until you mess with them in a parking lot fucking with their Tesla, right? This one, the Flipper Zero. Now, a lot of them seen the Flipper, but they've never seen these devices, right, on the GPIOs, the different stuff you can connect to the GPIOs. So I brought this one. They think that it's bigger with the antenna, it could do more damage. I brought some of the other ones with my Marauder case, just to show them awareness, right? And pretty much what I would do is I would scan my hand, because at DEF CON last year, I did get an implant, just the MyFair implant, nothing crazy, but I do want to get the Fido implant on my other hand. So doing that, showing that I could use those badges to clone quick and copy it to my hand, right? To the implant in my hand. Because the office badges to where we go on the ships are pretty much like a hotel. I mean, they're pretty much a hotel. That's the same technology as you would use at Treasure Island, Bellagio that I know of. I'm not sure about the others. I've never done it myself personally, but Bellagio and Treasure Island, because that's mainly where I stay, you're able to pretty much clone their badges, write it on my hand. I'm not sure about the other ones. I've never done it myself. I've heard other people, but for me, I've never done it or seen it. So I'll leave it at that. The other thing is, what other devices that I scared the shit out of them with? Well, Flipper Zero, I always tell them, are for amateurs. These two right here, iCopy XS, Proxmark. Also these two, which are really small and compact, Chameleon Ultra, Chameleon Light. I don't know if it's Ultra Light, but Chameleon Light. Those ones have higher impact as far as copying badges. The iCopy XS, I don't have it with me, but it has a HID connector with it's a RP40 for the, what the hell is it called? RP40, the skinnier version. Damn, I completely forgot what it was called. But pretty much it goes on the skinnier frames of your wall for your doors. It plugs into that, and it pretty much can code into, or can copy your HID CIOS badges, which is more of their higher end of the line badges, right? So some of these are way worse, and you could also build with the Proxmark, the Proxmark, put different antennas, walk by people, build it more sophisticated. You could also build out, I think you could even buy them now, they'll build out the bigger HID reader, put that in a laptop case, the satchel type, and capture everything. Those, I forgot where they sell them at, but they sell both of them, both for low and high. I don't know if there's a dual one yet. I haven't seen that. And capture it that way. The other ones that I brought out are, this is the older Portapack one, not the V2, but the Hack RF. Also, Wi-Fi Pineapple. This is the Nano. Also, here's a HID RP40. Some might say this is just a reader. It's actually not. They have a company, it's actually one of my first YouTube videos. I was recording my friend. It's called Reader Covers. You could order a shit ton, do OSINT on a company, see what they're into, if they're into Veterans Day, Law Enforcement Day, LGBT, whatever. Buy a cover, completely cover everything, right? Light and everything. Slap this next to it. Now this looks like the actual reader. Just go in, change the color to what they use. Do some drive-bys and see, when people badge, does it turn green? Does it turn blue? Do they mimic the company's colors? Slap this right on the back, 3M tape, start collecting credentials. So I brought that up because these devices, especially like on cruise ships, are not talked about. even in the companies, right? Everything always goes back to the USB or charging cable. And still not even that many people were ghost-faced when I brought the OMG cables out. They had no idea that these are real. So their question was, how do we charge our phone? Well, from a cybersecurity and physical security standpoint, companies are now going to have to start issuing out malicious devices or malicious cable detectors and also USB detectors. OMG makes that, or they're one of the companies that make them. So building out security awareness, stuff like that, I think is key because there's still, and also critical infrastructure. When I worked at PG&E as a consultant, I mean, I was able to get into the offices with a soda can. Some might say, like, how would you do that? All their locks, pretty much you would just cut up a soda can and make it into a shim. Now lock picking companies sell them and you just pop them open. That's all this. They had old school analog CCTVs. I mean, the shit was horrible, right? And so, but now as they move to newer technology, now they're way behind on what threat actors use these days. So I think this is a big miss on cybersecurity's part, is just to single out all these other devices. And this isn't all of them. There's a shit ton more. I don't have every single one. These are the ones that I personally use. One, I did red team exercises for physical security. So these need to be, in my opinion, brought up and at least doing some tabletops with physical security to secure your devices, right? Because you can have Milestone, Linnell, for those that don't know what it is. Those are probably the two, probably in my opinion, the best. Milestone CCTV and Linnell access control in the business. Next would be Genetec CCTV. Second would be Secure Software House access control. And then you got a Vigilon. AMAG's a crock of shit. But anyway, you could pay $2 to $3 million for your campus to have all these systems in place. But it's just a false sense of security because 9 out of 10 times, and now it's catching on that these things need to be hampered, right? Tested with the actual red team. And not just those systems in place, their policies, procedures, their SOPs, guard forces, right? Social engineering, that goes for your guard forces, your office managers, your receptionists, whoever's manning the lobby, and also your security team, how that works if things happen. Also the crisis management, business continuity teams, those come into play as well. So those are going to test out everything, especially on a tabletop exercise. Yeah, there's tabletop exercise that physical security has from a crisis management standpoint. Cyber has them as well from a ransomware standpoint, but there's never that gray area where those two teams work together. It is very rare unless shit hits the fan, right? Something happens to an executive, they get their credentials or family, social security numbers, credit cards, addresses, schools, and it's a mixture of both where the two teams finally have together, but there's no mesh. There's no coherence within the teams. They don't know each other. They don't know, you got the physical security side who's going to be 9 times out of 10 the egotistical assholes and, gates, guards, and guns, which ain't going to work in the cyber world, which how this stuff get leaked. Or why weren't we notified when they did their executive protection due diligence? That was never brought to cybersecurity's attention, right? So there's those aspects that I feel, and until I see this day, that are missed. And then when the cyber team gets rightfully upset at that, they're pretty much like, fuck you, we'll handle it. We'll go hire a third-party consultant. Physical security is now left out of the dark. I've seen that as well. So just to be in mind when you present or you have an opportunity to go over malicious devices, not just at a conference or an event, but also internally, bring it up. Also, these should be part of security awareness. I did these many moons ago when the Proxmark first came out. I think it was V2. Pretty much, and what I would do when we open up a new office, I know this might be frowned upon now, but I would go to Google, go to LinkedIn, Facebook, and check out who our office manager was. 9 times out of 10, it was a female. So I would build up a profile to try to take her out to lunch and build a date without her knowing who I am. And I try to play that portion when these things come up, because that's what I would do as a physical red team. And pretty much when you go to lunch, on a lunch date, coffee, whatever, or happy hour, just slide right through, because most of them still wear their badges on their purse or, you know, showing somewhere. And it's easy. So that's pretty much what I would do. Now, again, don't do that. I got clearance to do that from legal HR. This was back then. I haven't even done that now, and probably won't do it. So, but that's that, right there. You need to go over these internally, because not only is it going to benefit the organization as a whole, it's going to benefit the person too as well. You know, plugging in their stuff at the airport, plugging in their stuff. We all know the Starbucks spiel. Just taking a random person that they meet, that they're dating, they did no open source intelligence on them, which women should do nowadays. And you know, they're stringing along because that person did an OSINT profile. Oh, there's something I could get or gather, or there, you know, that shit happens. So I think this is beneficial not only to go over this internally, but also bring apart to your organization's security awareness, and also not to hamper on it too much, but just bring it up for new hire orientation under the security awareness, you know, portion of it. I think this would be a great, perfect thing, and also to get buy-in from your organization that, you know, this is the direction, unfortunately, we're going at, you know, as far as employees are concerned, right? I mean, you have to, you know, use your UB keys, multi-factor authentication if you aren't using that. Stuff like that is, you know, got to be norm, not just at work, but also normal day life. So that's pretty much the video. You know, it's glad to be back. Wish I could have been at Falcon, but again, if you guys get a chance to check out that next gen sim, check it out. The thing is pretty amazing. Again, RIP Splunk in the coming months or years or year. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know if you guys would do anything different, or any other devices you guys might see that are missed or never even talked about as far as malicious devices. So that's it for the video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, add comments in the comment section, and yeah, on to the next one. Have a good one.